Okay. Good morning, you guys. Glad you're here. Today we have an awesome speaker. We're going to be talking with Anna Cardenas, and she is going to be talking about Best Buddies. And I thought that Best Buddies was a great program because it encompasses so many different things. And I was excited for her to come and explain to us about all of the wonderful projects that they're doing, the programs they have, and all that other information that we want to know. So, Anna, I believe you are able to share, and we're excited to hear from you.
Hi, thank you so much. Hi, my name is Anna. I work for Best Buddies and at Best Buddies San Diego specifically. We are a large nonprofit. We're pretty established in the Southern California area, so you may have heard of us, you may have not. You may recognize our logo, but don't know what we do. Whatever it may be, we're going to learn more about it, our programs today. And I'm really excited. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If there are any questions, I know if I can't see the chat, just please loop me
I sure
in
will.
case I miss anything. And then can everyone see my screen?
Yes, it's coming. Yes, it is. It's right there. Do you want to go into presentation mode or is
Yes.
it?
I will be, yeah, I just have,
Yeah, that's perfect.
there we go.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining. So we are Best Buddies International. And we are the largest organization dedicated to ending the social, physical, and economic isolation of over 200,000 people, or 200 million, sorry, people worldwide with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Our mission as a nonprofit is we are a global volunteer movement, so we do try to create opportunities in one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, inclusive living, family support and family support. Sorry. Who we serve, Best Buddies serves individuals with IDD. IDD is the shortened umbrella term that for intellectual and developmental disabilities. So you're going to hear me say IDD throughout the presentation. That's what it means. But the community includes, but is not limited to, people with Down syndrome, autism, Fragile X, Williams syndrome, and other undiagnosed disabilities. And the way our programs work is we have 5 pillars. So in these 5 pillars fall all of our programs. I'm going to be talking about all of our programs, specifically the programs we offer at a local level in San Diego, as well as other programs that we offer internationally that are available if you'd like to learn more. So we have our one-to-one friendships, and that is our friendship pillar. Then we have our integrated employment pillar, leadership development, inclusive living, and family support. And with that falls all of our programs, like our school chapters, our citizens. And I'll go into all of our programs, but all of our programs fall under these 5 pillars. And with these 5 pillars, that is how we go about it. And this is the San Diego team. So I'm presenting to you today. My name is Anna. I am a lead program manager, which means I work directly with the friendship pillar. I work in the one-to-one friendships. I work with schools a lot. I also work with colleges, and we do have adult programs, our citizens program, which is something I also will talk about. But I am very much on the friendship side of the Best Buddies world. Then we have Jessie Glenn. She is our Director of Communication and Stewardship. So she's behind the scenes. She's running our Instagram, our newsletters, all sort of communication that you receive from Best Buddies. Usually it's because Jessie wrote it and designed it. So we love Jessie and she's great. Our State Director, Caitlin, she oversees all of us here in the state of California that work for Best Buddies. So she's not based in San Diego, but just kind of wanted to include her in here. Athena Crosby, who is our development coordinator. She puts on all of our signature events every year. So we have two signature events um, every calendar year, and Athena is on it for fundraising, for committees, for stewardship. She's just all over the place. And then we have Rashonda. She is our manager in job development. So she is all things in the job pillar world. She's a job coach. She also works in development, which means developing relationships with companies locally for us to be able to employ and get our participants in their place in their business and be paid employees. So that's we're a small team, but we are a mighty one.
So young. I see so much energy in that sheet, in that slide.
We do have a lot of energy. And I want to talk a little bit about the different programs we offer. And don't worry, this may come off as a lot of information, but it is going to be available to you afterwards and steps on how to apply if interested. But one of the programs I want to talk about is our Ambassador Academy. So this is for anyone. Our Job Ambassador Academy offers official inclusive leadership development for anyone over the age of 14 with or without IDD. But these leaderships workshops that you would attend, you would be able to become a Best Buddies ambassador, develop leadership skills, advocacy skills, public speaking. You work with job coaches. It's all about if you want to work on that public speaking, on that advocacy for yourself, for the Best Buddies community. We want to be able to provide that platform for you and the skills to make you feel as confident as you want to be to speak in public spaces and be an advocate. So this is something you're interested in. Maybe you don't want to be an advocate, but you want to work on your public speaking. You're always welcome to just practice that. We have amazing speech coaches that help and support us during the workshops. And there's many benefits with being a part of our Ambassador Academy. Like I said, you could become a Best Buddies ambassador, build leadership and communication skills, earn a certificate of inclusive leadership, strengthen your resume. This looks really great on a resume if this is an additional program you'd like to add. Open the door and share your story on a global stage. All of you have a story, and if you're wanting to share it, we definitely want to be able to provide the tools for you to do that. And access future Best Buddies leadership opportunities. So this is kind of the Ambassador Academy and it's only 1 hour a month, so it's a very low commitment. And we have our August session just passed, but we will be having one in October. So like I said, I'll be emailing the information if you'd like to join the October session. But it's a really cool opportunity if you are interested in public speaking or just developing those skills. And I'm going to touch on a couple of our other programs, but feel free to scan the QR code to learn more. UNICE Buddies is a part of family support. So family support works specifically with the parents of parents who have a young child who got a recent diagnosis or are pregnant and received a diagnosis during pregnancy. And would like some additional family support and resources. That is what UNICE Buddies is for. And this is one of our international programs. It's not a program we have fully launched in the San Diego area, but we do have a lot of online resources. So if that's something you'd like to check out, you know someone in this situation who would like to have more information, we definitely recommend checking out UNICE Buddies. And then we have Best Buddy Siblings. Same thing, but now with sibling support.
Wow.
This is a fairly new program that is also an international program, but there are a lot of online resources that we are providing. and definitely recommend checking out. It's a support, not it's part of our family support pillar. But it's a space for siblings of, if you have a sibling with IDD, this is a space for those siblings to be able to connect with one another and have a space um, to also be able to receive more resources and support. Um, and last program that I'm going to loosely touch on before we get into our local programs is Best Buddies Living. So we do also have an independent living program, and we don't have one available in San Diego. The closest is in LA. So we're hoping that slowly but surely we'll be able to have it in our area. But it is a living space where people with and without disabilities live. And we have residential managers. There is a lot of support in our independent living, but there's also a lot of independent practices that we do with our participants that are living in our residency. Um, so if you'd like to learn more about that program, it's slowly starting to happen and spread throughout the country. We have one in California, but I believe we have about 20 um, throughout the country. And they're usually tied through universities. So the one in California is tied to UCLA. So they live close to campus. Um, and it's also just a really great opportunity also for college students, maybe looking for a living. So that's a great living space as well for college students looking to live close and and it's affordable rent as well. So anyways, something we hope to bring to the San Diego area in the future, but definitely recommend checking out and learning more about it. And then what we're going to talk to you about today is the Citizens Program. So that falls under the friendship pillar, which is that is my specialty in the Best Buddies world. And so this is our adult friendship program where we match a person with disabilities to a person without disabilities, and it's a one-to-one. And in these matches, we have our participants hang out once a month, at least once a month, but communicate on a weekly basis, whether that's a phone call, text, FaceTime, etc. And this is really important because this is what makes Best Buddies stand out in comparison to other programs is our one-to-one model. We get asked why the one-to-one, and we often have seen with this program has been around for over 30 years, and it has shown that the one-to-one model is most successful in creating true and equitable social inclusion. Because often with multiple friends or multiple when it's because there I think there's a fine line between friendship and mentorship, and we don't want to confuse the two. We're offering friendship, genuine friendships to develop between two folks. And so often when a person with disabilities or with IDD is matched with multiple peers, we're perpetuating certain stereotypes and this idea that someone with IDD requires the work of two or more people in order to experience a good friendship. And that's not necessarily all the case. Um, so we want that. And we also turning what should be a friendship into a shared responsibility. And often when there's multiple peers, there's confusion, oh, I thought it was my turn, your turn. And it's not a turn system. It's again, we're trying to develop genuine friendships between folks. Hence, and a friendship is a responsibility of two people. So we'd like to keep it that way so each party can be responsible to one another. And we're also asking members with that one-to-one to learn the likes and dislikes, and that way you can really get to know like the nuances of a person as you develop that friendship. So that's why the one-to-one model is something we really, really emphasize, and why our citizens program continues to grow. Because it doesn't matter if you are in school, if you are in college, if you are working a 9 to 5, everyone wants friendship. Everyone should have friendship. And so we want to help achieve that for our participants. And that is what our citizens program is it's a friendship program. But in this program, as well as you're developing these new friendships, because we know that meeting strangers can be scary, we we also prepare you with the tools necessary. So establishing healthy boundaries. That's something that we practice, that we go over um, when necessary, when meeting your buddy as the friendship is starting to progress.
I'm
And
sorry, Anna. I'm sorry,
yes,
Anna. We
yeah,
have a question about the residential program.
yeah,
Is in LA, is it only for students of UCLA?
no. No, it is not. Anyone who is on, if that is an area that there are certain prerequisites, I believe, and they should be on on the web on our website. But no, you do not have to be a student of UCLA to live.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, great question. Thank you. But back to our citizens program, we work on also just establishing those healthy boundaries, communicating respect, establishing expectations. As we go over consent, teaching an example of healthy boundaries. And I like for the San Diego citizens, I am the staff who is also just available for additional support for our buddies. And so our buddies I'll check in with them as well throughout their friendship. Um, we also like to encourage people first language and best buddies because we believe words matter. So that is something when people enter the citizens program is a year commitment. So when you get matched, it's a year commitment with your buddy. And if after that year you want to continue that friendship, awesome. If things happen because life happens, people move, um, people get busy, other things take over, take precedence. So we try to, so sometimes matches get dissolved, and that's okay. But we do have a Best Buddies community available. And within that Best Buddies community here in San Diego, we really want to emphasize people first language as opposed to identity first language. Of course, it's up to each person's choice how they choose to identify, but we encourage when meeting someone new, going with person first language unless corrected, and someone prefers identity first. But these are all things, just a little bit of a tidbit of what we kind of go over, what we talk about in our programs, the tools we try to provide. So that way, when exploring these new friendships and these new social interactions, because also as a citizens program, we go out and do things. We have a monthly hangout, we go grab dinner, we play Uno. We just have a fun night. We hang out as you do with friends. So that's what we're trying to do with our citizens program, and we would love to have more folks with and without disabilities. And if they live in the San Diego area, anywhere from Chula Vista all the way up to anything basically almost LA, please apply to the program. We definitely would love more folks. But now I'm going to talk about Best Buddies jobs. So just a little warning that I am not an expert in all things jobs. I will definitely share all the knowledge I have and answer any questions. But I will connect and provide the contact information for for our jobs manager, Rashonda, at the end. Um, And so our integrated employment. So what we do is, or what Rashonda does, secures jobs for people with IDD, empowering them to earn an income, pay taxes, and independently support themselves through their professional accomplishments. So Best Buddy Jobs matches skills, qualified individuals with IDD with business seeking, enthusiastic, and dedicated employees. Through the jobs program, Best Buddies develops partnerships with employers, assists with hiring process, and provides ongoing support to the employee and employer. So that sounds like a lot. So I'm going to break it down a little bit more. But our Best Buddies jobs program places focus beyond the typical jobs in which a person with IDD might be placed, but Best Buddies focuses on finding work that matches the job seeker interests and talents. So whatever your interests and talents are, whatever you want to pursue as a career, as in enter a job, that's what we also um, taking counter when looking for jobs. Our job coach isn't just filling in spots where jobs are needed. It's also what are your interests and your talents that you've expressed, that we put on your resume, that we've practiced, that we can try to explore and find you a job in that realm. So that's what's amazing about our jobs program in general, but I'm going to shout out Rashonda specifically because she does it for us in our area.
Say
Um,
someone was interested in like drawing, or they were interested in like one of the like 2D, what is that, 2D or 3D?
the graphic design?
Yeah, I think something like what they would, so as you're saying, it would be like what they're interested in, they trying to find a job in that industry.
Yeah, so we have, just for example, we one of our partnerships, we now have a partnership with Sephora because of it, but we had a participant who loved makeup, loved, knew a lot about the beauty industry, wanted to help people find makeup that they would like. And anyways, through a lot, through our job coach and everything, we were able to get a partnership with them. And now that employee, now we have a full employee at Sephora, and we've had multiple folks at Sephora because of their interest. Um, we have some of them can be a little niche, some of them can be more attainable. It all really depends. But we had someone who worked as a janitor for a really, really long time, and but they really wanted to get transferred to the janitors program at the Levi Stadium because they wanted to work near the Niners. And it took a couple of years, but he was able to professionally, meet the crew, the custodial crew, meet the kind of who's in charge of those operations and with Best Buddies, and now he's in that. So slowly but
Wow.
surely, whether it's not we get you close and then we get you a little closer. It may not be at the first job, but that's how we want to develop. Any job we get is going to be professional development. It's going to be experiences that you take away on how we interact. You're going to learn about yourself, and you're going to learn about others. And so our job coach really do a really great job of providing that support, not only for our participants, but as well as the employer, to make sure that you're set up for success at whatever job you're at. Um, so just a little
Just
bit
a
about,
question about the employment as well.
yes.
Is this different than the job, the programs that the San Diego Regional Center has? Do the companies pay for to the employees, or is it through the San Diego Regional Center
The
with
that will
employment
that
first?
I will say Rashonda will probably give you a better answer, but to my knowledge, they are employees of the company. They are not paid through the regional center or through whatever services.
Thank you.
Yes. And just our expansion. This is where we have jobs programs available in the US for Best Buddies. And so California has about 6 offices. We're very lucky to have them spread throughout our very large state. In comparison to like Texas and Florida that only have about 1 to 2 locations per state. So we are very much in the expansion of it all, but we are slowly but surely growing in our jobs pillar. But really how it works for when we what Rashonda a big part of Rashonda's job is also recruiting employers and finding these opportunities. So we definitely go in and identify, introduce, we talk about our programs. There is interviews, onboarding, training that happens. Our staff, which is Rashonda, which supports with interviews, onboarding, any job coaching on the job, Rashonda provides. And these are here at the bottom, just to show some of our local, or not local, some are local, but those are all California job participants. Adrian down here has worked at, in the bottom left, has worked at Jersey Mike's now for a couple of years, and he loves it very much. Another local one that yeah, wait, these are all pretty much San Diego, but essentially these are all great examples of folks and what companies they are at. We have folks at Nike, Accenture, JLL, Sephora, set, and so we definitely try, that is through all the work our job coaches do in developing those relationships with the companies. And who we serve people, as I had mentioned earlier, the umbrella term is IDD, but it's for intellectual and developmental disabilities. Developmental disability, this is the umbrella term including inclusive to these different diagnoses, as well as intellectual disabilities. This is just kind of a little chart of who we serve and how we break it down. And the employment consultant, so our job managers will also support the candidate during the employment. So these are different examples of support: pre-employment skill vetting, training for the employers, in-person support during the interview, in-person support during the onboarding and training. Support is needed to sustain an independent and long-term success. We want all of our participants to have to feel as supported as possible. But in that includes also our employer feeling confident as well. So know that our job coaches are working on both ends to make it a great space for you and everyone to work on. Another big partnership we have is with Belmont Village Senior Living. A lot of our participants have had either jobs here, have volunteered here, have had different opportunities here. We've partnered with Belmont Village quite a bit, and we have partnerships here in La Jolla and Cardiff by the Sea. They are always looking for staff, and we have that relationship with them, which is always great. A couple of other local employer partners that we have, Michael's, Office Depot, the DOR, Sodexo. So these are all great local employers where we have current participants at, and we want to continue growing those relationships. And so what Rashonda really needs in order for the criteria of admissions to be in our program is a primary diagnosis of an IDD. So a diagnosis qualifies individual to receive services, have a desire to work competitively, have a reliable form of transportation. So whether in knowing and having to get to and from work. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to click. And manage activities of daily living. So independent, does not require long-term one-to-one coaching to sustain employment. Because with time, while Rashonda or our job coaches are there one-to-one as much as you need, the idea of our program is with time to also veer off and you independently do your job. Of course, that support or her physically being with you at your job becomes less and less, but the support never stops. It just changes and modifies throughout time. But being able to be okay with that change as time progresses. And so that is what we require to be a Best Buddies Jobs Program participant. And that's all I have for our programs today. Here's also the QR code if you're interested in joining the Citizens program that I had talked about earlier. If you're interested in adult friendships, or just hanging out with the local Best Buddies community in San Diego. And if you'd like to reach out to Rashonda specifically about jobs, that her email is available here on the screen, as well as mine and the rest of the San Diego teams if needed. But yeah, I want to open the floor to any questions. I can go back to anything. Let me see.
Kathleen said, which group is for adults?
Which group is for adults? The Citizens group is for adults.
What do you mean, Kathleen, for adults? Do you mean family or the participants? Because I think everything is 14 and up.
No, which group is for the adults, the participant? If I'm understanding your question correctly, I believe you're referring to the Citizens program. That is for adults. That is the adult friendship program, and then our jobs program is also for adults.
Could you go back to that citizen? Actually, there were so many things. You guys are amazing. I just have to say that, oh my gosh, you are covering so many different areas. I'd like to Uni's buddies was just amazing to me. But I'd like to start with that sibling program.
Sure.
We have a lot of families that they have siblings, right? And we don't see a lot of support for the siblings. So I was kind of interested in if you could give us just we had one of our leaders who was a sibling and did a lot more research and built more of a program for the siblings. But I think they're kind of, not really seen or, thought of at the top of the head. So about the siblings, now what are the siblings? Are they, what could you say it again so I can get a better understanding?
I am really excited about Best Buddy Siblings. It's a program that just started to roll out this July. So it is a fairly new program, even to us staff. So we've I know we've launched small cohorts, and have this program in office in certain states. We yet don't, hence why we have the online resources for siblings. But similar to kind of how, or not similar, but it's a space like Uni's Buddies, for siblings to be able to kind of lean on each other to, they are also in unique experiences as well. Being a sibling with a person with IDD, being compassionate, but also having other feelings and as you grow up. And so it's hard to talk about that just with anyone. It's a lot more meaningful when you're able to connect with someone who has maybe gone through something similar. So that is what I know of the premises of Best Buddy Siblings, that it does connect. It's kind of similar to like the buddy system, but instead it's a group, or it can be one-to-one, to my knowledge. But yeah, I would definitely check out our online resources as it develops. I'm happy to share more with you. And if we roll it out in person, also happy to provide more as that comes. But for right now, it's an international program, or it's a national program, and all resources that we have right now are only online.
So if they click that QR code, there might be some groups or chats or something out there that they can reach out and speak to other people.
Yes.
The citizenship, could you go to that one, please?
Yes, of course.
So the citizenship is really kind of about life skills.
The Citizens is not about life skills. It's necessarily, it's just, it's normalizing friendships of all types, and and putting two folks together who maybe wouldn't have met otherwise and just develop a friendship. The idea is we do offer that training in terms of, or we do offer that support of boundaries and establishing just all these different tools that I think people should just have in any and all relationships, platonic or not. And so we want both of our buddies to feel that they have that available to them as they're navigating. And it's kind of a little bit, it's helpful because meeting a new person is always scary until it's not. And so that's why we soft launch their friendship and we give it a year to try it out because also adult friendships aren't like school where we get to see each other every day or we have same classes. You know, you have to make time for your adult friendships. You look at calendars, you align schedules, and so that's why it takes two. And so that's really why we tried to foster these and normalize one-to-one friendships of all types. And that's what the Citizens program is. But we try to offer also life skills and social skills that are applicable in social settings and in one-to-one settings.
You find the buddies.
Any advertisement, I mean, I usually will seek out because the adult program is 18 years and older. There's no cap. So I will go for college graduates, high school graduates, rec centers. I will go down, I've walked down different bars and I've like put, signs because I also am like just targeting places that adults hang out at. And so rec centers is great because Volo is a really big thing in Southern California. So it's great to get them in the rec centers since they get a lot of traction. But yeah, anywhere and everywhere that I can, if you're over the age of 18 and are interested and live in the San Diego area, you are definitely welcome to apply to the program.
There are no checks like, because we're talking about some of our families have 17-year-old, 16, 17, then we have 18 and above.
Yes, so we do require, because it is over 18, we do require a background check. And so there is no fee to be a part of our Citizens program, but there is a one-time fee of $19 for the background check. But once that background check is complete, it's not something you have to do again. And yeah, that would be the only fee that would occur for a pro, but to be in our program, there is no fee.
And how has it been going? Do you have a lot of people in this program? Do you have a lot of volunteers of people that don't have IDD in that program?
Yeah, so I do have I want to say last time I checked, I have almost 200 people in the area with and without in the program. Some have been in buddy pairs for quite some time. We've had the Citizens program in San Diego, I want to say for a little over 10 years now. So the program has been around a lot longer than I have been in my role with Best Buddies. So it has had its growth and it's also plateaued in its growth. So in the past year, it has grown quite a bit. We do have a steady hangouts that we are able to offer. Both we switch them. We do one in North County and one in South County, so that way it's accessible for our folks who mostly rely on public transportation. And so but it's also I do all things friendship. So I run the Citizens program, and then I do a bunch of other stuff with schools. So with what with what time allows, I do try to maximize and devote as much time to have events and cool things for our citizens to do and have. But these hangouts that we provide as an organization are just are hangouts for all, and regardless of match, if you're matched or not, you're welcome to attend a citizens hangout. The only way you just wait until once your background is cleared and you've been given the green light, you got an email saying you're all good to go, you can attend any of the citizen events that we have. Because once you're given the green light, you're added to our monthly email list, and so that's how you'll get all the updates on what we're doing, where the next hangout is, etc. But you'll get to meet people, and people have organically met their buddies at our hangouts. And so then they've messaged me privately saying, I really hit it off with so and so, and they want to be matched. And so sometimes that makes it a lot easier for me. But they're just great hangouts for our community that you're welcome to join.
So this isn't like a day program. This
No.
is really the events and gatherings, things like that.
Yes. Yes. We don't have a day program.
And how often do you have your gatherings?
Our hangouts, I try to have at least 2 events a month for larger hangouts. But for the buddies that are matched, aside from our hangouts, will see their buddy, because our hangouts don't necessarily count as like hangouts with their buddies. They're supposed to hang out with their buddies outside of it. So they'll do their one-to-one hangouts, and they'll do their daily or their weekly check-ins with one another, and start developing that friendship. And organically that changes. It's like that's just kind of like the starting template, and then friendships they'll start talking more often or hanging out more often, just kind of that natural flow of their relationship.
So, do you guys have questions, Elvin?
Yes. How do you go about registering to your program?
Yes. So let me go ahead and reshare my screen, but it's an online application, and with that, it goes to our system, and from there we go ahead and reach out to you in terms of next steps for the program. Sorry, I'm just pulling up the slide with the QR code. So yes, if you were to scan the QR code on this screen, which I will also send the link, or bestbuddies.org/join, it takes you to our membership application. And with that, then someone from our team will reach out for next steps on the process. But typically after you submit a membership application, someone will reach out to schedule either a phone call or some sort of like interview, get to know you. We call it an interview, but it's really a time where we get to know you better, your interests, your likes, your dislikes, any needs that you may require, etc. Then we go ahead and send you the link to the background check. Once you get that done, we don't get any of your personal information. All we receive is it's all good or it's not. And so once we get the all good, then we reach out again and we move forward saying that you're eligible to be matched, and that you are able to attend our hangouts moving forward. And with the information that you share with us during your interview, that's the information we use to help find your buddy, because your buddy is not just based off of where you're necessarily at in San Diego. We take where you're at into consideration, but it's also based off your likes, interests, and what you're looking for, and so and what you're comfortable with. And we want that from both parties. And so all participants in the Citizens Program, with or without IDD, go through the same application process. So it's the same process for everyone to get into the program and being matched. I hope that was.
So when you said about like the siblings program that is international, does that mean that everything is online, and if you log in, you're bound to meet people from all over the world?
For which program? I'm sorry.
You said that the siblings program that is international.
The sibling ones. It's a national program. Not that was my error. It's a national program.
Okay.
It's a national
still
program.
Online.
It's still online, but you would be connected with people from within the country.
Oh, cool.
Thank
Okay.
you, Kathleen.
Yes.
Okay, she
Yes.
had to go back to work. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry, Albion.
No, no, no. It was just it's very, very interesting that and I'm assuming that in your webpage you have the events program there,
Yes.
right? Okay.
That
Cool.
was
Thank you so
some
much.
fantastic information.
No, thank
Um,
you.
I'm gonna quickly just pop in and show this for you. This is the site, you guys. So if you ever, if you want to go there, this is what it's going to look like. You'll be able to check in, donate, do whatever it is you want. Just little things that are popping into my head. And here are the programs, their pillars. I believe these are your pillars.
Yeah, our failures.
See, I learned. And so just great. And then here are the events, LV, I think, or
These are our national events happening, but they're all like the further you click, they'll because if you go to you're in the California website. Perfect. So then yeah, it'll take you to all of our events in California. Not
down
just
at the bottom.
yeah. View more events, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, usually other hangouts. I believe all of the ones in August have already happened. So I have a feeling those were already taken down. But
Yeah.
our September ones will be up soon.
Okay, but here's where you would go to see your upcoming. Look
Yes.
at all of this power that here are their programs that, if you guys wanted to go and get more information about it. So I just like to show everyone the website so when they go there, they know they're in the right place and
Yes.
we can look, join, take action with them. They have their programs and they do have international LVM.
We do.
Who their supporters are. So, do you have any other questions, Elvia? What a great presentation. What a great organization that you guys have. I just want to thank you for all that you're doing everywhere. So we can't even say, but especially here in California. I'm looking forward to you guys branching out and bringing some more of those programs locally. And we'll be excited to hear your updates on that. But what some great information. I know our families are going to be excited about the living, about the citizenship, and that buddy program reminds me of Big Brothers Big Sisters
Yeah.
and their
Yes.
buddy program.
Similar, but the differentiating of not mentorship because Big Brother Big Sister is more of a mentorship.
Yes.
This is more of a
Friendship.
friendship. Yeah.
Yes, yes.